Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great day. Today we're going to be doing our very last section of this chapter 6 unit, and we're going to be looking at comparing linear and exponential growth. So for this first video, we're going to be looking at interpreting a graph and seeing really the big difference between a function that is exponentially growing and one that is just linearly growing. I don't know if linearly is a word, but we'll go with it. Okay, so number 1, Danny's Donut Shop and Big Daddy's are comparing their profits for the month of January. The red graph represents Big Daddy's and the blue graph represents Danny's Donut Shop. Let X represent the number of days and Y represent the total profit in hundreds of dollars. Use the graph to answer the questions below. Okay, before we get into these questions, I kind of just want to break apart what these directions said to us because there's a couple of really key points that's going to help us answer these questions. The first thing I want to point out is that Y is representing the total profit in hundreds of dollars. So that means when I am looking at this graph here, which Y is my profit, as it tells me here, Y represents total profit. The numbers on this side, that's not saying, like for instance, $5. That's not $10. It's representing it in hundreds of dollars. So I need to add 2 zeros. So that means when I am looking at that 5, that is really saying $500. When I look at that 25, that's really saying $2,500. When I look at that 40, I need to add 2 zeros to that. So that's going to really say $4,000. So when you get a problem like this, it's really important to look to see if it says that. This one said in hundreds, so I need to add 2 zeros. If it said in thousands of dollars, I would need to add 3 zeros. So then like the 65 would actually be 65,000. So always watch out for that. Another thing to note here is that X represents the number of days. So I'm going to go ahead and just label that in my graph. That X is number of days. And then like I said, Y represents total profit. So knowing those key things is going to help me answer these following questions. Okay, so for part A, it asked me how much money did each shop start with? So I'm looking at the very beginning at 0 days, how much money did they start with? Well, I see for Big Daddy's, the red one, it started with $500. Remember, that's at the 5, but that really means $500. And then I'm going to look at Danny's Donut Shop. That is my blue line. And I see it starts at the 10, but remember I need to add 2 zeros to that, so that's really $1,000. So Big Daddy started with $500, Danny started with $1,000. Okay, and then the next question asks me, at what day do the shops have the same amount of profit? What is that profit? So I'm looking for when they have the same amount. So I'm looking to see where these graphs cross, because that's going to be when they're exactly the same. And I see it's at this point right here, which is labeled for you, at the 724. So now I need to figure out, okay, does 7 represent my profit or does it represent my number of days? Well, if you recall, X, that's the number of days. So that means that my 7 is the days. So I can say 7 days. And then the Y, which is the second coordinate, is my profit. But again, I need to be careful here. My profit, it's in hundreds of dollars, so I really need to add 2 zeros to that. So that's going to be at $2,400. Okay, now next question says, after 10 days, which shop is making a higher profit? Why could this happen? So I'm going to go to 10 days. Again, 10 days, that's my X. So I go to 10 in my graph right here. And when I go up that 10 line, I see I hit Danny's Donut Shop first. It's at like 3,000. But Big Daddy's is above it. It's at a higher profit. And so Big Daddy's will be larger profit. So at 10 days, they're making more money. Why could this happen? There are many reasons why maybe a shop is making more money. One could be maybe they have better donuts. Maybe they're in a better location. Maybe they're having a better sale. All kinds of reasons that could be the case. Okay, and the next question, how many days does it take for Big Daddy's to make a $3,000 profit? So again, profit, that is my Y. However, again, since this is in hundreds of dollars on my graph, I'm not going to find 3,000 on it. I really need to take away 2 zeros. And then now I'm just looking for the 30. So I see my 30, and I look to the right. I see it's at the point 830, and so that means it's going to be at 8 days. Next question, after 15 days, how much profit does Danny's Donut Shop make? Okay, days, again, that's my X value. So I'm going to go to 15 on my graph. And I'm looking to see how much profit Danny's Donut Shop makes. So I need to go up until I hit the blue graph. And I see that's at the point labeled 1540. So 40 is my profit. But again, since this is in hundreds of dollars, I need to add 2 zeros there. And so that's going to be 4,000. Okay, and then just to get some extra practice, this is first semester stuff. I want to write an equation to represent Danny's Donut Shop. It's a linear equation. I already have some points here, so recall that's y equals mx plus b. So I need to first find my slope, and then I need to find my y-intercept. So I'm going to go ahead and just choose 2 points. I want to use my y-intercept 10 because that one's going to be easier. And so my y-intercept, I write that as a 0, 10. And then another point I see is this 7, 24. First coordinate is my x, second coordinate is my y. And then I have to find the slope. I'm looking for my change in y over my change in x. So I first see how my y changes. So I think, okay, how do I get from 10 to 24? Well, 10 plus 14 gives me the 24. Then how do I get from 0 to 7? Well, 0 plus 7 equals 7. So that means that my slope is going to equal my change in y, which is 14, over my change in x, which is 7. And then 14 divided by 7, I get 2. And then remember, b is my y-intercept. I could plug this in and find my b value, but I don't have to. I already know my y-intercept. My y-intercept is 10. And so I get this equation. Okay, that's it for this video. You can go ahead and move on to the next one.